4 years ago, Dominick Reyes nearly dethroned John Jones. And less than an hour ago, boom! Carlos Ulberg made it look easy work and knocked him out in under 1 round. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how he did it, what it means for the light heavyweight division, and where Ulberg might go from here. The first thing I wanted to talk about is why did Ulberg actually take this fight? Really, it comes down to the fact that he was in line for a title shot. He probably could have done the Arman Sarukian, sat on his hands and waited for it to come. But because his last fight against Jan Blachowicz wasn't like an amazing fight, it wasn't a barn burner, it was a pretty boring decision. I think that Ulberg realized if he really wanted to have 100% chance that he was next in line for the title, he needed to roll the dice one more time with Dominick Reyes, and that's exactly what he did. In the fight, it was interesting. Dominick Reyes came walking out looking very ready, just sort of pumped up, looking like he was, loose. Ulberg, on the other hand, looked very stoic, very focused, very calm, but you could also read it maybe as nervous. It didn't look nervous, but when someone's just not moving, it's like they're trying to control their nerves maybe. But as soon as they got in there, you could tell that Ulberg was super calm. He was leading the dance the whole time, using lots of feints, sort of just coming in, sliding out, just playing with the space that was there to make Dominic walk into it. Which, by the way, if for the 11 people that watched my picks video, you'll know that I basically called this knockout. I did say it was going to be an uppercut, and it wasn't an uppercut. Basically, the first 2 minutes, almost not a single punch was thrown. I think after 2 minutes, one punch had been thrown by Ulberg and maybe one kick that got missed by Reyes. But once it started to pick up, even in that first 2 minutes, it was really just a lot of space creation from Ulberg creating these traps. And then once the action started to pick up, he makes a feint. Ulberg makes a feint, steps back out of the way. Dominick Reyes comes in, gets caught by the jab right to the face, stuns him. Ulberg slips under the other hand and fucking pounces on him. Lands that right hand so fucking strong that Dominic is down on the ground, basically already out. Ulberg follows up with a couple more solid punches to just put him clean gone. Ref stops it. He's looking down over Dominick Reyes oh, what's happening? In another planet, right? And it was just so beautiful. It was very similar to the Conor McGregor Jose Aldo knockout in reality. Not exactly because it was a two-punch combo, but just the way that Carlos Ulberg, for a light heavyweight, 205-pound fighter, to be able to feint and then move out and create that space and still pivot and create power on the way back in. Oh, so beautiful. God, it'd be nice to have that type of athleticism and be that big of a guy. For Reyes, it's, is he still elite and unlucky, or are we just willing to say that he maybe does not have the chin to handle 205? Not that he could go down in weight or anything like that, but you look at Alex Pereira, Yuri Prochazka, Khalil Roundtree, Carlos Ulberg. These guys all have iron in their hands, right? Dominick Reyes did a great job against John Jones, but John Jones doesn't really have that type of one-punch knockout power. It seems like when Dominick Reyes is in there against a guy that has the power to knock him out, it's a coin flip. He just beat Nikita Krylov, but then he loses to Carlos Ulberg. And not to say that Carlos Ulberg and Nikita Krylov are even close to the same thing, but with a strong striker, Reyes is basically gambling. It's a lottery. It really just depends on if he's going to get caught, right? And most of the time, you're going to get caught at some point. So I don't know if Reyes has a chance in this division, really. It's brutal because he got robbed from the John Jones win. He was really, in reality, the light heavyweight champion, and since then it felt like he was very unlucky. But I think this just proves whether it was the Jan Blachowicz knockout or the Yuri Prochazka knockout, or I think he even got knocked out another time, it's I think that Reyes' chin has just been completely destroyed. I don't know what you do next with him. Maybe you give him the loser of Yuri Prochazka, Khalil Roundtree. God, I mean, he was beating Yuri in their initial fight, so that, wouldn't be bad. And I do think that he has the length and reach to be able to beat a guy like Khalil, potentially. Again, like I said, complete coin flip. But for Ulberg, this is huge. This is exactly what he needed, right? Again, against Jan Blachowicz, the fight was not super entertaining. He knew he had to get a big win. He comes out in front of the Australia crowd, flatlines Dominick Reyes in one round, talks to Hunter Campbell. He's going to be at the fights next weekend to be there in person. They'll probably get him in the cage against the winner. Um, he has his funny "I'm coming" moment when Paul Felder asks Carlos Ulberg at the end, "Do you have a message for Ankalaev and Dominic? Yeah, not Dominick Reyes. You just knocked out Dominick Reyes. Do you have a message for Ankalaev and Pereira?" Ulberg's like, "I'm coming," and it's like, bro, are you angling for a title fight or a three-way? What are we doing here? Um, I I'm wondering, like, is Ulberg the fresh blood that the 205 light heavyweight division needs? Because it does feel like it's getting a bit stale. Like there's been a lot of rematches. Yuri versus Ankalaev. Sorry, Yuri versus Pereira twice. Pereira versus Ankalaev now twice. Pereira's versus Khalil Roundtree and Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz has fought everybody, and all the. It is feeling like these guys have all fought each other a lot, and Ulberg could be that like new guy, and he's got a great style. I'd love to see Ulberg versus Alex Pereira. That would be beautiful. And I also do think that Ulberg has the abilities to beat Magomed Ankalaev. So very interesting to see what happens with him in that title picture. But I don't really know if the crowd connects with Ulberg that much. He doesn't really talk. And, that's that sort of like Samoan Islander stoicism, just like, I don't talk shit, mate. I just fucking hit you. I talk shit, get hit. Like, that's sort of the view. But if you're not gonna, you might be able to have knockouts like Conor McGregor, but if you can't talk like Conor McGregor, are you ever going to be a future pay-per-view draw? And I just don't know how exciting Ulberg is to the fans. I don't know how many fans really even know of Ulberg yet. Even after this win, I don't think that like the casual MMA fan is going to be like, "Oh yeah, Carlos Ulberg, that's my guy. Like I know that guy." Which is crazy because he's in a 9-fight win streak. He's a scary Samoan guy that's like knocking everybody out. He's in the light heavyweight division. He's fun, but I just don't see him as that huge draw. So it'll be interesting. Interesting to see how the crowd connects. Interesting to see what happens at the title fight next weekend. I really don't know who's going to win out of Pereira and Ankalaev, but I do think that Ulberg is a good match for both of them. With the striking that he put on tonight, honestly, I think he could set up some traps for Pereira. And I haven't seen enough of Ulberg's takedown defense, but I don't think that Ankalaev has like the best takedowns in the world. And there's enough footage now and good game planning from City Kickboxing that, Carlos Ulberg is a threat, man. He's a real nightmare for these guys. Too bad he doesn't say a fucking word. Oh my God. Anyway, I enjoyed the fights. I hope you guys enjoyed the fights as well. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown video, this reaction video, and, do all the YouTube stuff. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe. And if you feel like I'm an idiot, leave me a comment. Or if you love me, leave me a comment. But see you next time.